Hey, what's going on? What's up? My name's Alex, and if you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering how you can win with Darkbox. This list got first in the Sunday Open, which just wrapped up a few hours ago as of recording this video. So the gist of this deck, if you're wondering, is to use Weavile-GX's Shadow Connection ability to move around dark energies to power up a number of really OP dark tag team attackers that we have. We use Mewtwo for type coverage, and we can utilize with Mewtwo the attacks of Umbreon and Darkrai, Mega Sableye, and Tyranitar, Greninja, and Zoroark. Basically, the idea of this deck is to flood the field with energy using things like Galarian Moltres' Dire Flame Wings ability, as well as red and blue, which we can use with our Weavile-GX. We have attacks available to us, such as Umbreon and Darkrai's, does 150, 60 snipe to GX Pokemon on the bench. Usually it's going to end up being Dedenne. As well as Dark Moon GX, which disallows trainer cards, and if it has 5 extra energies, automatically knocks out your opponent's Pokemon. So if you can flood the field with enough energy, towards the end you can use Dark Moon as either a sweeping attack or to put your opponent in a really precarious spot, shutting off trainers for them, maybe if they need a boss for game or something like that. Mega Sableye and Tyranitar has the Greedy Crush attack, which is the more important attack out of these two, that just lets you draw an extra prize card if you knock out a GX Pokemon with it. So, sometimes you can go knock out like a VMAX or something and then Greedy Crush on a Dedenne. You can win the game with, 2 or 3 attacks just because of how strong this extra draw one prize card extra ability is. We also have Greninja Zoroark to take advantage of how many energy we're putting into play, whose Dark Pulse attack just does 30 more damage plus 30 for each dark Pokemon attached, or for each dark energy attached to all of your Pokemon. We obviously have Marshadow and Viridian Forest to try and combat the Path to the Peak that are, seeing lots of play in Standard right now, mostly an Ice Rider and Urshifu. We play 2 Cherish Ball and 4 Tag Call, as well as 3 Pokemon Communication and 4 Quick Ball. As our Pokemon search, obviously the Cherish Ball is effective for everything in the deck except for Crobat, and the Tag Call helps you to get out both supporters as well as your Tag Team GX Pokemon. Said supporters include 2 Professor Research, which is the only one, which that and Boss are the only 2 you can't search out with Tag Call. We play 3 red and blue so that we can try as often as we can to get that turn 2 extra energy into play. We play 1 Mallow Lana, which can be useful in a couple of different scenarios. And we play 2 Cynthia and Caitlin. And the list that won the Sunday Open actually only plays 1 of these, and they play a copy of Sabrina and Brycen, which was a promo from, like 2 years ago or so. I don't have Sabrina and Brycen, but basically what it does is you can search out 2 energy. So basically it's making energy searchable via Tag Call, is its functionality in this deck, which is really strong. And then you have the extra option to discard 5 cards from your hand and search out 3 Pokemon of different types, which of course is a really strong ability. I don't have that card though, so instead I'm playing one extra Cynthia and Caitlin as a substitute. Hopefully the Viridian Forest and the 10 copies of Dark Energy can get me there. But yeah, let's get into some games. Alright, so we're coming into our first game here against Starovich, I think I want to say. Win the coin flip. I'm not sure. I think we'd like to go second with this deck because I think we want to, optimize. Oh, that's terrible. That sucks. That is really good that we chose to go second, though, because this would be an absolutely dead hand if we chose to go first. But yeah, I think we want to optimize our chances to get out that turn 2 Weavile. Eternatus is our matchup here, which, I don't know, I think that's probably decent. It'll depend on whether or not our opponent is playing Weavile. Weavile, obviously, we can take a really efficient prize map going VMAX Weavile if we can get the Greedy Crush off. That does mean, though, that we have to attack with the Sableye rather than the Mewtwo Mew because the Weavile-GX resists Mewtwo Mew. So instead of, hitting the 210 that we need to hit, it ends up being 230 that we need to go for, or 220. We need to hit 220, and the attack only does 210. I think we're probably just going to grab these cards and research them away. I think we'll keep the Sableye in the deck, but up until then, I think we'll attack with the Mewtwo, because that just gives us. He has 270 HP, which makes it automatically better than Greninja Zoroark. We don't have to worry about weakness at all in this matchup, and it just gives us better flexibility. I think we'll just keep that in the deck. The second copy, just in case. You know, we could thin out one more, but we don't really know how to play this yet. There's an Air Balloon, there's a Moltres, we also have the Calm for... I don't know, we'd probably... Oh, I forgot, yeah, I didn't mention that in the deck profile, but the Galarian Moltres isn't searchable via Cherish Ball either. So, I don't know, maybe we end up Dedenne changing this hand, or we could we could hold on to the Communication. We could Cherish Ball for a GX and calm away that, and then Crobat for 4. That seems kind of okay. I like that a little bit. So we're gonna do that. We'll grab this because I think when you're picking out what to grab with Pokemon Search like that, especially when your opponent doesn't know your deck list, you want to, you know, reduce what they know about your deck as much as possible. It's very unlikely that it matters in the grand scheme of things, but I think just if you have to make a deliberate choice, I think that's the way to do it. So it looks like we'll have 3 energy, maybe 4 energy in play next turn, and I don't know what our right way to approach this is. Could Dark Moon. We know that they don't have a Crobat in hand, otherwise I think they would have played it last turn. That means that their probably only draw for turn is a supporter, and if we Dark Moon, obviously if we Dark Moon though, we're taking away our chances at the Oko. I don't know. I think we pass, actually. We have 2 energy in play, right? We have Viridian Forest away this energy, grab another one. Then I think we go Dedenne change and we just dig for it. Obviously, it depends a little bit on whether or not he knocks out. There goes the Marnie, so maybe we should have put the Forest into play. I think we have enough outs, though, that it's not too insane to hope for a Dire Flame Wings next turn. There's the Viridian Forest, there's the red and blue. They do get a Chaotic Swell into play, but they dead draw off the Marnie, apparently, which is really good for us. It also does kind of contaminate. It kind of contaminates what, like, the showing of this deck, because obviously if I want to, like, provide the best, you know, example of how this deck works, I want my opponent to have, like, the turn to 270, and I can still, you know, if I still beat it, it shows you how strong this deck is. Now, I think we're probably going to go ahead and grab a Dedenne off of this Cherish Ball, which will, of course, bench lock us, but I think we can afford that. Seeing as it bench locks us, we don't have room to put down the Marshadow next turn, which means our chances of getting off the Dire Flame Wings this turn are very low. So I think we'll go red and blue. I think that means we can probably, you know, try and attack some way else this turn. We will have 4 energy in play off of this, and we'll be able to attach for a 5th. That's 180, I think, that Dark Pulse is doing, so that's an option. There's the attachment. We also have a boss for next turn. We know he doesn't have anything good in his hand. I don't know. We could go Aura Burn here. I think we'll attach this just to stop the timer. I don't think there's a way for us to knock out this guy. So yeah, we could just Aura Burn. Of course, if we Aura Burn, that does open up the Moltres knockout. I think that's got to be it, though, right? That's got to be the right way to do it. because this alters their prize map, right? And this means that they can't win in 2 turns off of a knockout on the... Of course, they could have Gust. If they do have Gust, that's fine. But this forces them to have Gust. And in addition to Gust, I doubt that they have the, the infrastructure to get out the 270. But yeah, this forces them to at least take 3 extra turns to win. We'll see if they have a supporter. They attach to the benched Eternatus. Alright, he bosses up, so he's going to go for stalling. Probably Weavile or Dedenne. He retreats into this guy, probably just going to Power Accelerator, Dire Flame Wings. So he's just adjusting where the energy is. He doesn't have an energy as his last card. So this is kind of a poor showing of the deck, because we don't obviously, like, I'm not showing you how well this goes against, like, Eternatus when Eternatus is playing well. So I think here, since we don't have an attachment, I think it's okay to just retreat manually, because we can hold on to the Air Balloon that way. We don't have to commit it anywhere. We can just retreat this manually and get the energy back with Dire Flame Wings. I think it would be really good to get energy out here, but there's no way for us to do that, I guess, right? So I think we'll hit with Moltres again. That seems fine. If it was the correct play last turn, it's got to be the correct play this turn, because nothing has changed about the board state. We're not hitting into something else. If we had like a spread 30, this would be over. If this deck had... he'll power up the Moltres. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why it was wrong, is because now he has the Moltres play. So... I don't know if there's a way for us to do 190 outside of Moltres, so I think that's probably what we'll end up doing. We, of course, could draw. Like, we could use the Quick Ball to get a draw out, but I think at this point we're fine. We don't have to worry about that so much. We'll grab another Moltres. We'll just attack with it this turn. And if they get the return knockout, right, if they draw out of this dead drawing, that's fine, I think. This is just kind of awkward. But then we go knockout here, we go bang bang, and they should just, right, what they have going on for them should just crumble. Assuming, of course, that they don't draw out of their dead hand. So we'll take the knockout here. I don't know, maybe there's something else we could do that would be a little bit good, but I don't see it if there is. Now, next turn would be a situation where we could actually feel comfortable dropping the Air Balloon. There's a Marshadow just in case they play another Swell. Yeah, next turn we could drop the Air Balloon and go in with Mewtwo. That seems fine because the Moltres, right, the prize trade doesn't matter as much anymore. If they knock out the Mewtwo, they go down to 1, they don't win. So I think we'd rather attack with Mewtwo than Moltres next turn. Let's see if they draw out of it. I think there's a Calm, so they have a Bat this turn, which means they could attack with the Eternatus, right? If they get like the evolution, they need 6 Pokemon in play, and they need the VMAX before they get the 6 Pokemon, so that makes it 180 that we need to knock out the VMAX, because 60 plus 150, no, that's got to be wrong. So that's 190 on it, 190, 380, or 340 minus 190 is 150 plus 130, so, or plus 30 is 180, so I think that's 180 that we need. We see that they're playing Coughing, which might be why their deck sucks. Which might be the reason that it looks like we're walloping them, because Coughing is not the way to play this, but he's going to Hidden Claw, or yeah, that's fine. So we'll just knock out that guy with Mew. Now I think we probably can feel comfortable dropping the Air Balloon. Now all we need is just 30 damage to knock out that guy. We can assume probably that what they'll do next turn is Ascension, which means that actually our Mewtwo would get shut off. So maybe that is a cause to attack with Moltres next turn. Because if they go in with Coughing and they go Ascension, then our Perfection ability doesn't work anymore, as well as Shadow Connection. So I think that means that it's probably right to attack with Aura Burn. Nothing that they can't drop anything on us next turn. That would take the knockout on our Moltres, and we have the boss in hand. So maybe we start thinning now. I think we can probably toss the Marshadow back in, because that has some utility in the future. And we'll grab, I think we'll just grab that because that's a dead card right now. We'll toss this just because, I don't know, maybe if the game runs super long we have opportunities for red and blue play. I don't know, I don't really see that happening, but I think there's more reason to discard that guy than there is to discard one of the Weavile Sneasel line. There's the second Mewtwo, which is good. The Calm gives us access. I think we're out of Dedennes and Crobats, so the Calm doesn't do a whole lot. We have also been dead drawing for the last 5 turns, but it doesn't show as much because we had the infrastructure to knock out what they had. They go with they send up the Dedenne. So now we need an energy off the top. That does have me second guessing the Shadow Connectioning here. But I think, right, if we had just done it over there and protected against boss, right, then they would have just bossed that guy or bossed that guy. We'll burn the Calm again, I think. We'll put that back in the deck. And we'll just grab it. Maybe it would have been right to put that back in the deck so we had the option for, I don't know, red and blue maybe. I think we'll just pass, and we're fine. If they retreat the Wheezing, right, that means that the neutralizing gas isn't in effect anymore. They Marnie us, which loses us the boss, but we still have 2 more in our deck that we should be able to find in a 23-card deck. There's the boss, there's the energy, there's the air balloon, so we have it next turn if they don't. Obviously they can evolve, but Aura Burn still does enough damage to knock out the VMAX. Or we could just, target the Crobat or whatever. He's going to grab the Moltres. We know he can't knock out anything this turn. He doesn't have any more hand disruption unless he finds a reset stamp. So this game should be over. There's the Eternatus. I think we'll knock out the Eternatus just for the pleasure of knocking out the Eternatus. Usually Eternatus doesn't play reset stamp because it doesn't have any kind of search for it, so it's just kind of clunky, right? Like, Eternatus doesn't have any reason to look for it. Then again, they are playing Galarian Weezing, so I know that they don't really care about clunkiness. But, yeah, we've just got game next turn through, a couple of different ways. Could Mallow Lana. No, we can't Mallow Lana. That's dumb, because we have to boss this turn. Well played to my opponent. So this isn't like the greatest showing, because, obviously our opponent didn't play their deck to the fullest ability. But, games like this are important too because, half of the games you play in like competitive play end up going like this, especially in a format, maybe not half, maybe like a quarter, right? Like you have games like this where someone just doesn't get set up and, the game moves too fast and you just get outpaced if you're that guy. And so if you have the deck that doesn't do that, it's just another reason to play it. I'll get into another game here and hopefully it's a little bit more exciting. Alright, so getting into another game here versus Kishido05, which means we're probably playing against a 16-year-old, because, I don't know, that looks like their birthday. Might not be. They're playing a fighting colorless deck box, which is kind of scary. I think it's fine. Let's go ahead and start the Moltres, just because it's a lot of a hassle. That might not be right. Maybe it was right to put up the Marshadow. Minshino, so maybe they're playing Shinshino Urshifu, or Control. I guess they could be playing Control too. So what we're going to do if this is control, I don't know if I'll include this in the video because that's not like a super duper viable archetype right now. I think probably what we'll do is we'll quick ball away this energy. And we'll grab a Sneasel. Then we'll just red and blue next turn, and we'll have enough energy for the rest of the game, and we won't have to do anything else. And that is fine, right? You could go for draw here. If this is a super terrible read, if they're playing the other, if they're playing the other, what's it called? What's its face? It's like got claws. Excalibur. If they're playing the other Excalibur, or I think that's it. Yeah. Then that was a terrible play because they're just gonna knock us out and we don't have any draw. I don't think that they are though. I think that they're playing control. And if they're playing control, we're good. There's Crushing Hammer. That's not gonna do enough. They don't. I doubt they have any kind of ability lock. Yeah, and there it is, Jesse James. That tells us that they're playing control. They do get their Minchinos out pretty early, which is kind of bad. But yeah, the point is that we don't play any. Right, if we don't have any way for them to stall, if both of our Pokemon in play can attack, right, then they can't boss around it. And, you know, we're good. They probably play Galar Mine. They probably play Wondrous Labyrinth. And like I said, I don't think they have any way to shut off abilities. They've bench locked themselves, which means they don't have a way to drop a Pokédoll as of right now. I think we'll probably just get rid of these two just in case, you know, they play Mawile, which is always a possibility with these kind of control decks. So we'll get the energy out. I think it's probably best to leave an energy on here, just in case, you know, I don't know, maybe they play Wondrous Labyrinth, and that would be a reason to put the energy up here, just in case, you know, they Wondrous Labyrinth, turn off our energy. But I think this is fine. I think we keep the energy over here. I don't think Nocturnal Maneuvers is ever any good here, because I think we just want to minimize the cards that we have in play. But yeah, now it's just, you know, we should have 5 turns until we win. Their goal is to delay those 5 turns as much as they can. And if they can, that's good. There's the Rototiller Excadrill, so that tells us for sure. They get access to Surge here, which is kind of bad, which means they can research. You know, maybe they Jesse James us. Maybe they, I don't know, maybe they do another control. But the thing is, we have 41 cards in our deck yet, so they are really churning through their deck really quickly, though. That's always scary to see from control. But the thing is, the point of this Rototiller deck is to handlock, right? And the handlock doesn't matter. There's a Path to the Peak. I forgot about that. So yeah, when I'm talking about when I'm talking about them not being able to turn off abilities, just disregard that because I forgot that card existed. But yeah, there's a boss on the Weavile, so I think we probably retreat next turn because obviously the Absol only works on basics. We also might just research. We could drop the other Sneasel. I think we want to research, though, try and find a Counter Stadium, a Marshadow. Yeah, that was stupid. I shouldn't have discarded that. But we try and find a Counter Stadium, a Marshadow, or, yeah, they put back the Surge. The Surge is what's giving them a lot to do here. Or an Energy. An Energy would be good, too. But the Counter Stadium would be great. Yeah, we'll go research. All right, the other option would have been to drop the Sneasel. There's the Forest. That's good. So we'll be able to cut off Path to the Peak, which means we can. We can't Dire Flame Wings this turn because we didn't get an energy in the discard pile. I think that means we go Forest, and I think we probably discard this. We keep the Quick Ball open as an option for Marshadow. Umbreon Darkrai is just never useful here because we're not trying to get out the Mew. Obviously, because Path to the Peak will just murk us if we do that. I don't know if it's right to drop the Air Balloon or not. Maybe we... how much energy? Or he's just got 120. So maybe we would have been really nice to get off of Dire Flame Wings this turn, but I think. Oh wait, we can go Quick Ball. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go Quick Ball here. Oh wait, that actually doesn't change anything because never mind. That doesn't do anything. That was just a waste of a card. So that was a misplay, I think. Yeah, well, Dire Flame Wings. I don't know. I think we'd rather attack with the Moltres, but I don't really know. I think it's fine either way. I don't know. Maybe on the basis that, right? We could Claw Slash. I don't know. Maybe on the basis that this guy's weak to fighting, it might be smarter to attack with the Moltres. I don't really care. This should be a free matchup, and if I choke the free matchup, that's, I can live with that. So yeah, he'll have to try and get up another Rototiller next turn. He doesn't have his deck, he doesn't have his lock fully implemented. He does have draw 6 in addition to the top deck, so he should be able to get up a second Excadrill. He does have 2 discarded. Usually when I play control like this, I do like a 3-2 line of Excadrill, Drillbur. What did I call it earlier? What did I call it? I called it something that wasn't Excadrill. It would have been like Excavalier, I don't know. I called it something dumb. It's not whatever I called it. It is Excadrill. They get down the other path to the peak. We do have the Quick Ball, so we can go Marshadow. Oh, that's how they do it. Okay, sure. I guess that's smart. They didn't get to Surge this turn, which means that they only have the 1 supporter use, which is good. I think they'll probably Rototiller that Clara back, and they'll go Clara right next turn. Their optimal probably play would be Clara, Surge, and I don't know, maybe a boss or something. There's a path to the peak again. So yeah, they will be able to perpetually shut down our abilities. So we just have to get enough energy into play that it doesn't matter. So I think we'd like. Right, we only have 1 Marshadow left because I was stupid and I used that early. I think. Do we use it? I think we might use it here just so we can get our Dire Flame Wings off. That seems really good because then we have enough energy to organically attack with both of our attackers. Eventually they'll be able to handlock us and we won't be able to draw any more energy. But I think this is fine. I think this is good. We could have Cherish Balled for Dedenne, but I think our strength right now is we don't have anything for them to stall. So they have to find, right, they have to do the Excadrill play again, which means they have to find another Clara. There goes the reset stamp. That feels good, even though we didn't have a really good hand to begin with. There's another path to the peak, which, that's fine actually, because as long as they have path to the peak in play, they can't play Wondrous Labyrinth. Oh, that sucks. That's so bad, actually. That Echoing Horn. I forgot that existed. I feel like I'm saying that a lot this game. That's bad, actually. So they'll Clara get out another Excadrill. They do need the energy, but I'm assuming that they have it. They also didn't get a Surge this play, which means, or a Surge this turn, which means they can't research, or they can't boss. Not research, they can't boss. Yeah, I guess that's just a misplay then to try and thin by discarding. I think it's probably just best to keep the stuff in your deck because obviously it's a lot more beneficial for them to play Echoing Horn than it is for them to play. That's so dumb. Oh my god, I hate that. Control is no fun to play against. We will get another attack off though because they didn't get the boss. I think we'll hold on to the Air Balloon just in case. Right, as of right now, our retreat cost is 3. So, yeah, we go Air Balloon, we hope for an attachment, because if they ever bump the Path to the Peak for something with, like maybe if they bump it for Wondrous Labyrinth, or if they bump it for Galarmine, then that means we can use abilities, right? We can just move our energy around and get enough to manually retreat that way, and we can Dire Flame Wings it back. So they have to get off the Clara again. I think they'll probably find the Surge this turn, so then they'll go Surge, Boss, and Clara. They did get rid of the energy, though, which is kind of good. There's the Surge, there's the Clara. If they get out the Boss, that's really good for them. Oh wait, it's both? Whoa, that's cool. So it's like a better Sonya. So if they have the Boss this turn, that's really bad. Echoing Horn, I don't know, I think the Echoing Horns might be kind of late because, you know, we have the Air Balloons. He needs a Boss. If he doesn't have a Boss, he's in a really bad spot because then we just have knockout for game. We'll see if he got it off the Make Do. He stamps us down to 2, which makes the Boss that much worse. Chip Chip Ice Axe, he'll control the top deck. No Boss, please. How many is he down? He's down 1. Probably plays 2 or 3. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so he'll get his. All right, so he's got his lock implemented. The thing is, he can't. This is just going to be such a long game. I hate it. I might just cut. Right, I might just cut to where we break the lock because it's just a matter of time, actually. Because we just have to find an Air Balloon and an energy, and he can't discard our top deck for long enough to deny us of that. He can't like discard our deck out of our deck at all, right? So eventually we'll just find that, and we'll, you know, either we'll time him out or whatever. But I'm just gonna cut to when that happens. So. Alright, he conceded. That was the worst game I've ever played in my life. But it wasn't an honorable win, but it was a win nonetheless. But yeah, it feasts in a Shadow Rider heavy meta. Most of these cards will be gone by rotation, or most of these cards are gone with rotation, so, you know, have your fun playing it while you still can. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Yeah, see you guys next time.